G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be having a look at the changes made to a particular plane that I think was a little bit not fun. I'll get to that in a little bit, but first of all I've got a little bit of, I suppose, housekeeping if you'd like. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is I'm looking for somebody that is an artist. So I'm looking to basically commission a little bit of merch, maybe have it done in time for maybe Christmas or New Year. Either one. I'm looking at someone who does particularly realistic type drawings. Maybe I'm looking for some sort of dogfight scene or something like that. If anyone knows anyone, or if anyone is an artist, I would really love to work with the War Thunder community in this sort of little project, if you will. Because a lot of people who didn't buy my merch last time around, which is in the link in the description below, would tell me that basically they would buy it if it looked a little bit more realistic and less cartoonish, which I think is fair enough. So I'd like to give that option to the War Thunder community, or at least my community, and if anyone is willing to help me out, of course I'm willing to pay. That goes without saying, but I would really like to provide that sort of gap, if you will. The second thing is I have a little email here from a lovely group called Air Models, and Air Models, for those of you who don't know, they are a partner with the channel. I have a little bit of a good relationship with them. Now, if you guys use the code BLACK15, you can get 15% off your order. These are really high quality models. These are insanely high quality. They're die-cast metal. There's no plastic. There's no bullshit except the stand. There might be a little bit of plastic for some of the finer details, but the majority of the structure is quite well casted. Die-cast metal. I have a couple of models myself. I have a Hurricane and I have an F-35, which is kind of like the British or the Royal Air Force's monoplanes to modern era type thing. And hopefully, as I get a little bit more space to display them, I'll pick up a Spitfire. I'll pick up perhaps an F-4 Phantom or something kind of like that. They're really good quality models, and if you want to get someone something for Christmas and you don't really know and they like aviation or they like War Thunder, I think this is a really good option because it is beautiful, it's well made, it'll last for a long time, and it's not particularly expensive. You can get very expensive ones, but some of them are basically as cheap as 60 Australian dollars, which I think is about 40 US or something like 35 US. It's not really a lot of money, and they ship worldwide, so I don't really see why not. The third thing is Twitch drops are live right now, or at least as I'm recording, and over the next few weeks. There will be a link down in the description below. I'm not streaming because I have shit internet, but there are a lot of good content creators that are streaming, and I want you guys to go and give them some love. If you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to them for free, and I would highly recommend doing that just to, I guess, spread a little bit of early Christmas cheer, if you like. So, today we're going to have a look at the D5 Stuka. Now, the D5 Stuka did get a lot of flight model changes, and I believe a bit of damage model changes as well. So, we're looking at a couple of kind of special little changes here. The D5 Stuka doesn't climb as well, and it doesn't seem to handle as well. However, on the flip side, it takes us a lot more damage from small arms. In fact, it takes a fair amount more, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. The Stuka used to be, and to be honest, kind of still is, a bit of a seal clubber. It's got really good guns, it turns decently well, and at this point, it's fairly durable as well. So you're not going to get taken out by a single 50 cal, and you can actually tank a fair few of the 303s from Spitfires and from a couple of other planes. So you actually do have a fair amount of durability here, and you do sacrifice a little bit of that for climb rate and mobility. I have noticed that my recording software is glitching. I've been having some issues with that, so do bear with me. I'm doing the best I can. So in the meantime, I just hope that you'll deal with that for me. So here comes an F4U, and this particular F4U is a bit of asleep at the wheel, let's say. He's not really doing so well, and I managed to get a nice critical hit that'll turn into a nice fire. So my next victim here is a MiG-3 that is heading straight for me. He's going to get a nice little dousing of 20 mils. I take a little bit of a copping to the oil tank, I think it is, off there to the left of the wing, or it might be the gear, I'm not quite sure. Either way, I don't sustain any major damage, but here is my real fight. I'm on a good 3 kills, and this could be my 4th, this Spitfire here, but he's playing it quite smart. He's sitting at altitude, he's biding his time, and he knows that the Stuka doesn't have a very good climb rate. It doesn't have a good climb rate normally, and even so with the nerf as such to its performance, it is even more so. Now he's starting to dive on me. What I need to do is I need to pick up a little bit of airspeed, and I need to sort of follow him around, and you'll see in a second just how much damage I'm able to sustain. Look at the hits that I'm taking, look at how much damage I've taken on the damage model, and you can see that this thing got a considerable buff to its damage. It just does not... It's just not as flimsy anymore, which is really nice to have. Although it is a bit of a trade-off against that extra performance, if you will. Now, personally, I don't know how I feel about it, because the performance has gotten me in some pretty crappy situations. But the damage model has also saved me a fair few times, so I would consider this a side grade, although it is something that you need to get used to. Speaking of getting used to, this thing is a lot more bulky. It doesn't seem to fly as smoothly as it used to, and I think that's just down to the new flight model. It might have something to do with an instructor, and you can see here that I'm really wobbling and sort of fighting the plane, but I do manage to get myself a very nice fire on that Spitfire, and that makes it kill number 4. So with that battle over the way, I'm going to get into the next battle here, which sort of takes a similar route, but again you'll be able to see that little trade-off and a couple of the little things that have changed in the D5 Stuka, and of course some of the things that have remained exactly the same. So this particular Spitfire here is a bit asleep at the wheel. Again, very, very easy kill there. And you can see that I've gone for a little bit of a dive. So I picked up a lot of speed, and I don't have the energy retention that I would have previously, which really sucks for me because I wasn't used to it at this point in my recording spree, if you will. D520 here is looking very, very juicy indeed, and he's basically put himself into a stall. I've managed to get myself 3 very, very nice sneaky kills. I'm about to pick myself up another one here, and oh my god, I've managed to pick up 4 kills. That's kind of nuts. If you think about that, 4 kills in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and I'm about to pick up a P40 here, which I shouldn't really be going for like this. This is a very, very stupid and risky head-on, and I pay the price for it. The Stuka, whilst being durable, still takes hits to the engine like a little pussy, so you really have to be careful about where you take head-ons. You can't do them late, you can't do them way too early and pull off and then expect a miracle. What you have to do is you have to play your cards smart, which is kind of nice. Again, there's me taking a lot of 303, and the tip of my wing is a little bit damaged here, which really, really hurts the it really hurts the Stuka quite a lot. I barely missed that Spitfire Mark IIA, and now he's going for a little bit of energy, and he's going to turn in front of me once more, but I just can't get my my guns on because this thing is just a little bit too bulky now. Doesn't quite have the power that it used to, and now I have a second opponent to deal with here, this J22B, which is eventually going to take me out. It's a really tough fight against this Spitfire. You're not going to be outturning Spitfires, but you can, in a pinch, outturn Corsairs. You can, in a pinch, outturn J21s and A21s. You can, in a pinch, outturn slightly heavier things, Typhoons, if you will, P47s, these types of planes, and they're really going to be the ones that you can dogfight. With Spitfires, I would only dogfight them if you're really confident, or if you are a little bit frisky, if you're feeling a little bit up to the task. Unfortunately, the J22B shreds me to absolute bits, but you know what? That's 5 kills that I can walk away with a happy man. Speaking of 5 kills, we're going to try and get all 5 kills this match, and just because the Stuka was, in my opinion, nerfed, doesn't mean it is a bad plane. It's still fantastic, and this particular match is going to illustrate exactly why. Oh my god, strap yourselves in, this is going to be a little bit wild. So, currently the Stuka, like I said, doesn't have that performance, but once you manage to get above your opponents, you have everything you need. And this is exactly what happens in this match. I'm one of the only fighters, because it's just me and a BF-110. And there's a D3 Stuka, a BV-238, and Heikel 111. I need to be the one to work with this BF 110 or at least carry the team in some way. And here comes the bane of my existence. Spitfires are absolutely deadly against the Stuka, just like I showed you in that earlier match. And the first match as well. You can't outturn a Spitfire. You basically have to get them in the head-on or the first turn. And if you don't, you've got to pray that you've got good teammates with you. If not, you can kiss your ass goodbye. So this particular Spitfire seems like he's climbing, and he's realized just at the last second he's going to go head-on, and I'm going to spray a little bit. Not going to connect those first hits, but he goes for the re-engage, and I read that perfectly. Get myself a beautiful fire just as he goes to converge in with my guns. I'm going to ignore him and go for the VG33 lawnmower plane because it sounds like a lawnmower, and it also explodes like a lawnmower that hasn't been taken care of because he didn't take care of his plane just as well. So we've got 2 kills. There's 3 of the enemies left. We have another Spitfire, and notice how I haven't dropped below the Spitfire to the point where I can't zoom up for him. He's trying to climb away from me, but I have too much airspeed, and whilst this thing has shit energy retention, I'm still able to catch him basically in a stall climb and take him out. In the Stuka, you're really going to be looking for those enemies that are a little bit asleep at the wheel, or those that are taking a little bit of a risk that you might want to capitalize on. Speaking of risk that you want to capitalize on, you don't want to be below a Stuka in an F4F because the F4F is very, very slow. Not only that, but the D5 Stuka, like I've always mentioned and always loved about this thing, has 6 20mm cannons in total with something like 1800 rounds between 6 guns. So you're basically never going to run out of ammunition unless you spray and pray everything. And that F4F, again, basically asleep at the wheel. This is kind of what you're going to get, either those first games where you get swamped and you get absolutely Piper Parried, or you're going to be the one with the BBC as such. Speaking of absolutely bad decisions, Piper Parry, the F4F meets his maker, and I get 5 kills. I take out the entire enemy team on my own. So, how fucking dumb is this plane? It is just so stupid. And despite getting the nerf, it is still really, really fun. I don't know how I feel about this nerf. Maybe I'm going to title this video, Look How They Massacred My Boy, because it just doesn't feel like the D5 Stuka anymore. But you know what? I'm more than happy to try and relearn this plane and get used to it, because it is just so goddamn fun. This plane will always be fun because of the guns, and because of the lack of performance, people see it as an underdog. So you're always going to have fun in this thing, no matter what. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Remember, Air Models link in the description below, Twitch drops in the description below, and of course, let me know if you've got an artist that you would like to, give a shout out to or give some work to. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.